As she nears her 80th birthday, Marilyn Warner has lived a full life, but she's lived most of it in an empty house.
I've lived alone for 55 years.
Well, yes, she told us some of those years she was a single mom to her son or spent time with her granddaughter. But adult companionship has eluded her.
The difference is not having somebody next to you, attending a wedding without a partner. And you don't have someone holding your hand when you walk down the street, which I miss that.
Yeah.
Everybody struggles to some degree or another with connecting with others.
Dr. Jeremy Nobel has made loneliness his life's work.
We're trained in our culture reflexively that being lonely is something awful. It is a character flaw for many people as they perceive it.
And Nobel has been arguing for years that taboo or discomfort discussing loneliness is fueling a public health crisis.
Loneliness increases inflammation. It reduces immune capabilities. It increases blood pressure.
Just from being lonely?
Just from being lonely.
And so, when coronavirus pushed billions of people into ever more insular lives, Nobel saw the hallmarks of a crisis, but also an opportunity.
During the pandemic, what went from a topic no one wanted to talk about, which is I don't have the connections I need, became a topic everyone was willing to talk about. And in fact, we were united in our loneliness, facing a common enemy, the pandemic.
Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here.
Nobel finds hope in rooms like this one.
Hi, my name is Edwin Hadaway.
Where staff from the Long Island Jewish Medical Center, one of the first places that dealt with the impact of coronavirus, shared with each other the ways it had pulled them apart.
People say, oh, it was a traumatic experience, but it made you stronger. But how did it make us stronger?
The format, called a creativity circle, was developed by Nobel's Foundation for Art and Healing.
We introduced creative expression.
You're literally going to draw a map.
Some chance to make something that allows you to express thoughts and feelings in a way that's often hard to express.
So when I look at this, the majority of my time is either spent in traffic.
I get up, I take care of my elderly mom.
I don't get a lot of people contact these days.
Shannon Carey rode out the pandemic mostly alone.
I'm usually by myself.
Something she had begun to accept after getting divorced.
I was with somebody for almost 20 years. So to not have them in my life anymore was definitely scary.
What we do with that fear is what Nobel is trying to change.
People are often surprised at how easy it goes when they can somehow summon up the courage to tell even a little bit of their story and allow themselves to be seen by others.
And dance has been my thing since I was 3 years old.
For Carrie, that connection came when an old high school friend mentioned she was taking adult dance classes.
It had been a really long time since I put a pair of tap shoes on, but I found my old pair of tap shoes, and it was like no time had passed at all. And I'm very grateful for her for that, because she had no idea what kind of influence that was going to have on anybody at the moment, never mind me saying, hey, can I come with you? Is that okay?
It was an important step. Was that a hard step for you?
It was scary. I was very much afraid to kind of put myself out there again from that perspective.
Afraid of what?
That I couldn't do it, that my body just wasn't going to let me do it. But I also think for me, I found I could communicate better. I found I was open to conversations more, which was not something I did easily, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I held on to a lot of stuff for a long time. But the healing has happened because of it.
Marilyn Warner had long used international travel and volunteer work to fill her calendar. But when coronavirus forced her inside, she found a new, surprising outlet.
That was cool.
Zoom calls with high school students, organized by Dorot, a New York nonprofit.
And I truly look forward to these conversations.
This year, she formed a bond with Nathaniel Tenenbaum, a senior at Brooklyn Tech High School. And on the last warm day of fall,
so weird to finally see him.
They met in person for the first time.
This is so cool. This is so cool.
I think we need things like this just to get our social engines working again. And it's like talking with a stranger and getting to know them definitely takes certain skills that are like intimidating to develop, but
oh, I didn't know that. I never got that impression, so that's neat. Take a look at this. There are bad times, and I cannot honestly say that I've never been depressed. I have. I've had very bad times. But the more things you get through, the more you know you can get through things.
And here you sit.
And here I sit. But it takes other people. If I had no friends, no relatives, no one to connect with, then it would have been impossible.